guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be telling you what I read in the month of September. So I only read 3 books this month, and as you could probably tell from the thumbnail, I don't have any of them physically. I read them all from my Kindle just because that's just what ended up happening. I know I have a million books on my shelves that I could be reading, but I don't actually buy things with my Kindle. I download things from the library using Overdrive. If you don't know what that is, it's basically something that you can connect with a local library and you can download audiobooks and ebooks for free. This is not sponsored, it sounds like it, but no, I'm just like letting you guys know that's what I do because I don't really want to pay for ebooks when I could have the physical thing, because a lot of time ebooks are like the same price as the regular book. So that's not what I'm gonna do. I did put myself on a waiting list for a book and I ended up getting it. And I have been in a big reading slump since college has started, and I traveled to see my boyfriend again and everything like that. It's been a lot, but I'm definitely getting back into reading again. And I read these 3 books within the last week of the month, so I kind of like went for it. And this video is probably going to be pretty short just because I read so little and I don't have as much to say as I would with some other books, and you'll see why. Also, if you want to know what kind of Kindle I got the Kindle Paperwhite. I just love it because I didn't want like something like an iPad like the Amazon Fire, but basically that is something you can get games and apps and stuff on. I didn't want anything other than something that could solely be read on so I wouldn't get distracted, and I really like it because it's not like an actual screen. It's like kind of like paper. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's the Paperwhite. Like, go look it up. But it's not like a phone screen, which typically hurts my head if I look at it for too long. And this one really doesn't, but it still has a backlight, so you can read in the dark. It's pretty cool and handy and convenient, and I really do love reading off of it, but I also just hands down love reading books physically that I have on my shelves way more. So the first book that I read in September is called Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This book is a book I never thought I'd really read after what happened with the other book that this author wrote. Her debut novel, An Enchantment of Ravens, was a 2-star read for me. And if you're aware of how I rate books, that's rare for me. I'm pretty chill with my books. I don't really do below 3 stars like ever. It has to be really bad for me to get that place, and I know a lot of people still like this book, so it's perfectly fine if you like this book. I just personally didn't enjoy it, and this one I actually really enjoyed, and I only put myself on the waiting list for this book because people that also didn't like her first book really enjoyed this one, so I definitely thought it was worth a chance, but I didn't want to buy it myself if I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, just because the last one, like, I spent my hard work and money on that book and I didn't want that to happen again. But now I do want a copy of this book. Whenever it probably gets its cheapest, I'll buy it, because since I've already read it, I'm not in like the biggest rush to get it, but I would love to have it and maybe reread it someday so I can tab it, because I did highlight a lot of things in this book, and it's kind of sad since it is a library copy. It will go away and disappear and I won't be able to see what my highlightings were. But whatever, I just had to highlight it when I saw something. So I believe I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. That was probably a bit nice of me. Typically, I rate books solely off of entertainment value, and I'm not the most critical reader. Sometimes I will get like angry and say what I don't like and everything. But most of the time, like, if I enjoyed it, if it was fun, the romance was cute, if there is a romance, then boom, 5 stars most of the time, like, yes. But it probably didn't deserve it. The world building wasn't the best, I must say, but the character relationships in this book was what really brought it, and I haven't even talked about what the freaking plot of the book is, so I will get into that. Basically, this is a high fantasy world, and I forgot what this world is called, but there is sorcerers and then humans and demons, and this magic system isn't explained very well in the book, but towards the end, you finally freaking figure it out, at least for me. Like, it took a while for me to really get it. But basically, to be a sorcerer or sorceress, you have to bargain your life away to a demon, and they're the ones that kind of give you the magic. So basically, one of our main characters, Nathaniel, he has magic because he has a deal with this demon. I won't say his name so I don't like spoil things, but he has a deal with this demon. The demon takes 20 years of his life away and offers his servant services so he can use the demon for anything he needs. It follows his commands and everything, and he also becomes a sorcerer because of the demon connection. And there's this other group of people, some of the humans, run these great libraries, and they're way against sorcerers. And these great libraries hold grimoires, I think that's how you pronounce it, but they're these really special books that hold like spells and things for the sorcerers, and they're kept away from the sorcerers. They have to like go through them and everything to get to them. And these books are not ordinary books. They like come alive. They can talk to you. They can freaking fly sometimes. Like, it's pretty crazy. They're very magical books. And our main character, wow, did I forget her name? Elizabeth. She is an apprentice to become a warden of these libraries, and right now she's just like a librarian. But one day something big happens in this library, and the director of the library is murdered, and she goes on this long journey of being accused for the murder, and then she meets paths with this sorcerer named Nathaniel, and they just have this crazy, like, epic journey. There's always something happening in this book. So much happened. Like, I could not just take a breath. So it was just one of those really fun rides, exhilarating rides, and there's just always something happening. So if you're into that sort of thing, and the romances, the relationships, the friendships, it was just definitely my cup of tea. And there's this one character named Silas. I have never felt so conflicted with a character in so long. I could not tell if I liked him or not. Like, I really loved him, but there's this darkness to him, and I'm not gonna spoil you, but there's a darkness to him that just makes it very conflicting. Like, you're like, should I like this guy? Like, it's just super interesting. Dang, I just talked about that book for a while. So let's move on to the next book that I read. And this one is Wires and Nerve, Volume 1 by Marissa Meyer. I don't know who the illustrator is off the top of my head, so sorry. But this is a part of the Lunar Chronicles, and it's set after the final book, Winter, a part of the Lunar Chronicles, as I said. So like Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, if you know those books. They're one of the older YA series that I just know and love, and you may know and love. We all read it in middle school sort of thing. At least I did. And I never got onto the graphic novels, and when I was scrolling through the library overdrive thing, I saw that they were free, and I had only read one book so far this month, so I was like, okay, a graphic novel wouldn't be a bad idea right now. So I downloaded it, read it super quickly, and I can't really tell you the plot of this since it is something that follows a 4-book series, but the general plot of the Lunar Chronicles is, it is fairy tale retellings. Each book follows a new main character, but it still follows the past main characters, but it introduces a new main character who is like fairy tale retelling-ish. So the first one is Cinderella, Cinder. Second one is Scarlet, Little Red Riding Hood. Then there's Cress, which is Rapunzel, and there's Winter for Snow White. And this series is like a sci-fi twist in the future, and there's this, it's just so good. I just can't even explain it, but this villain that's in this series is one of the most interesting villains, and I just really lived for these books when they were coming out, so I am super excited that I read this one. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know if I said that, but it was good. It wasn't the most amazing thing ever. Some things felt weird, and this book actually follows Aiko, who is actually an android best friend in the whole Lunar Chronicles series, but she's not just a typical android that doesn't have feelings and crap. Like, this android has feelings, and she has like a human body. Well, it looks like a human body, and people have told her her whole lifespan that she's just a faulty chip. Like, she's not supposed to be the way she is. She's not real. She cannot have feelings, you know, but she does, and it goes through that interesting storyline, and maybe she's like wanting to have like a romance with some dude, but like, how do you deal with that when you're an android? that stuff. This series follows the aftermath of the big ending from Winter. I didn't even think about the loose ends that this would bring up, but this one definitely did some things, and it made me annoyed at times because one character pissed me off, but it was okay in the end. And I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the third book that I read, and that is Wires and Nerve Volume 2. This is the last graphic novel. I don't think they're making more after this because it kind of did like close up in a nice little way. And I also gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't have much more to say. This one was the one that frustrated me. There's this character named Wolf. I never really liked him all that much in the original series, and he was pissing me off in this one. Like, and yeah, it turned out okay in the end, but he just made me mad. Like, no, I do not like him. My favorite character will always be Thorn. He is just that cocky dude that I can't even explain it, but he's just so entertaining. And I really want to reread the Lunar Chronicles right now, so I might be doing that. You'll see in a future video if I am rereading them. I just missed that series so much, and I forgot how much feelings I have for these characters, so I definitely need to re-experience it because it's just one of those that really impacted my life, my reading career, and I didn't even realize how much it did. So those are all the books that I read in September. I know it wasn't that much, and this video was probably super quick, but I hope I was still satisfying enough for this video. Also, look how cute. This is my favorite Harry Potter poster, so I got a shirt for it now. And I just love it. It's so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all of my social medias, which are linked down below. And go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked. And goodbye.